Deep Research Max doesn't just predict the next word like ChatGPT. It's actually reasoning through problems step by step, and almost nobody understands how. So today I'm breaking down exactly what's different, why it matters, and whether this is actually the leap forward everyone's claiming. First, let's clear up the confusion because there's a ton of it. When you use ChatGPT, you're using what's called an autoregressive language model. That's a fancy way of saying it's trained to predict the most likely next token, basically the next chunk of text, based on everything that came before. You ask it a question, it runs through that prediction process hundreds of times in a row, and boom, you get an answer. It's incredibly fast and it feels intelligent, but here's the thing, it's not actually reasoning. It's pattern matching at scale. Deep Research Max works completely differently. Instead of just predicting forward, it's trained to generate what's called a chain of thought. That means it's actually writing out its reasoning process. It'll break a problem down into steps, work through each one, check itself, backtrack if it hits a dead end, and then move forward again. It's more like watching someone actually solve a problem than watching a very sophisticated autocomplete. Now here's where it gets wild. Deep Research Max can spend way more compute on a single problem. ChatGPT answers your question in real time. It generates tokens as fast as it can and gives you an answer in seconds. Deep Research Max can take minutes. It's using that time to explore different approaches, test hypotheses, and verify its own work. It's doing what's called test time compute, which means it's spending extra processing power at the moment you ask the question, not just during training. This changes what it can actually do. With a standard language model like ChatGPT, if a problem requires multiple steps or deep logical reasoning, you hit a wall pretty fast. The model can handle some of that, sure, but it's fighting against its own architecture. It's predicting the next word, not solving. Deep Research Max, because it's reasoning through steps, can tackle things that require actual deduction. Math problems with multiple stages. Code that needs deep debugging. Research questions that need you to synthesize information from different angles. But here's the catch that everyone glosses over. Deep Research Max is slower and more expensive. It's not a drop-in replacement for ChatGPT. You wouldn't use it to write a quick email or brainstorm a list of ideas. You'd use it when you actually need to solve something hard. When speed doesn't matter, but correctness does. The way it actually analyzes data is also different. When you feed Deep Research Max a bunch of information, say, a research paper or a dataset, it doesn't just scan it like ChatGPT does. It's reasoning about relationships between pieces of data. It's asking itself questions like, does this contradict that? What would follow logically from this? What assumption am I making here? It's more like active analysis than passive retrieval. Now, I need to be honest about the limits here because the hype is real and I want to cut through it. Deep Research Max still has blind spots. It can still make mistakes. It can still hallucinate or confidently state something wrong. The difference is that because it's reasoning out loud, when it makes a mistake, you can often see where the reasoning broke down. You can't do that with ChatGPT because there's no reasoning to see. Also, Deep Research Max isn't magic at understanding context the way humans are. If you ask it about something deeply subjective or culturally nuanced, it's still working from patterns and training data. It's just working through those patterns more methodically. So why does this matter? Because it's a genuinely different approach to AI. And it suggests that the future of AI might not be just scaling up models and training them on more data. It might be about training models to think differently, to reason, to spend compute time actually solving problems instead of just predicting text. For you, the practical takeaway is this. If you're using AI for something that requires real problem solving, research, coding, complex analysis, Deep Research Max is worth trying. It's not faster, it's not cheaper, but it's actually different in a way that matters. For quick tasks, ChatGPT is still your friend. If you want to actually understand how these models work instead of just using them, subscribe. I break down one of these every few days, and I keep it concrete. No unnecessary jargon, just what actually matters.